People often visit Subic for its beaches, wildlife parks, and peaceful scenery. My friends and I left with something else, a story we still refuse to tell after sunset. It happened during our college break. 8 of us planned a weekend getaway to Subic Bay. We spent our days swimming, eating seafood, exploring old military sites, and taking hundreds of photos. Everything went exactly as planned until our final night. The resort where we stayed was built on the edge of a quiet forest. The owner proudly told us it had once been an officer's rest house decades ago. He laughed when one of my friends asked if the place was haunted. "Only if you believe in ghosts," he replied. We laughed too. After dinner, we gathered outside around a small bonfire. Someone suggested we play a game. Each person had to tell the scariest story they knew. The darker the story, the better. Hours passed with laughter, jokes, and exaggerated ghost tales. Eventually, someone jokingly shouted into the darkness, "If anyone is here, come join us." Everyone laughed, except the resort caretaker. His smile disappeared. The bonfire suddenly cracked loudly. A powerful gust of wind blew through the clearing. The flames leaned sideways. Then every flashlight around us flickered at the same time. The forest became completely silent. Even the insects stopped making noise. Trying to ignore the strange feeling, we returned to our rooms. I shared a cottage with 3 friends. Around 2 in the morning, someone knocked on our door. 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock, knock. Thinking another friend needed something, I opened it. Nobody was there. The walkway outside was empty. As I closed the door, I heard footsteps running across the roof. Heavy footsteps, as if several people were racing overhead. We rushed outside with our phones. Nothing. The roof was too steep for anyone to stand on. Yet the footsteps continued. Back and forth. Back and forth. Then they suddenly stopped. A loud scream echoed from another cottage. We ran toward it. Our friend Melissa sat frozen on her bed. She pointed toward the window but couldn't speak. When she finally caught her breath, she whispered, "There was a soldier standing outside." She said he wore an old military uniform covered in mud. His eyes were completely white. Then he simply vanished. None of us wanted to sleep anymore. We gathered in the lobby until sunrise. While waiting, we reviewed the videos we had recorded around the bonfire. Most of them looked normal until we reached the final clip. Standing behind our group, barely visible between the trees, were several shadowy figures. They hadn't been there when we recorded the video. None of them moved. They simply stood together, watching us. We immediately checked the same spot outside. There was nothing there, only trees swaying in the early morning breeze. The caretaker quietly watched us from the porch. Finally, he spoke. "You invited guests that don't belong to this world." No one laughed this time. Before leaving, the caretaker walked each of us to the resort gate. He handed us small woven bracelets made from red thread. "Don't remove these until you reach home," he said. We thanked him without asking questions. Months later, curiosity got the better of me. I searched the history of the old property. Long before it became a resort, the area had served as an emergency shelter during the war. Many soldiers and civilians had never returned home. No one knew exactly how many lives had been lost there. To this day, none of my friends will stay overnight anywhere near that forest. The bracelets eventually wore out and broke. But every time our group watches that old vacation video, the shadowy figures are still there, standing silently behind us, watching, waiting, as if hoping someone will invite them one more time. The end.